Two, one. Hey guys, this is Dr. Rob here, and Dr. Randy, and we are the Happy
Hey,
Healthy Guys.
what's
We've
going
got a
on, Dr.
great,
Rob?
we've got a great segment today. Hey, Dr. Randy, we've got a great segment today, and we're just going to go ahead and lead off here with Dr. Randy has some things that he wanted to share, and then we'll get into it.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Rob, and everybody listening. So, I wanted to just take a couple of minutes. I want to dedicate this episode of Happy Healthy Guys to my youngest brother, Ryan. He passed away about 6 years ago, and today is his birthday. He would have been 33 years old, so he died when he was 27. And Ryan, he was a very, very happy guy. So that does make me smile because he was always happy. And of course, Rob, you knew my brother very well, just super happy. But Ryan wasn't healthy. And, with Ryan, he had the joy, but he didn't have the health to complement it. And I want to this is really kind of how happy, healthy, I guess, what I'm trying to say was kind of born is you need both. Ryan really inspired me and us to do the things that we're doing and teach this happy, healthy lifestyle, because one of two things is going to happen if you have happiness, but you don't have your health. Number one is, or both will happen, is you're going to leave this earth way too soon because you didn't have the health that we believe God wanted you to have. Or number two, which I think is worse, is that you're going to be frustrated with your health challenges and your pain and the fear that goes along with that. And that's eventually going to erode and chip away at your joy and your peace and your happiness. So happy, healthy really is a lifestyle, and both keys are essential. So I just wanted to tell my brother Ryan today, thank you. I love you. Happy birthday. And you're the best, man. So let's get going here, guys. But today's a special day.
Yeah, your mom definitely did. Mom and dad did great with Ryan, and I'd actually argue to say he actually probably was. I think I liked him the most out of all three of you guys. He's just an amazing human being.
Yeah, no, he was the best guy of all of us. There's no question. So we are going to continue this happy, healthy lifestyle, teaching as many people as we can, because we know, man, Ryan struggled, man. He struggled, and it just didn't seem fair. And I think we both learned a lot from his life. And once again, kind of the inspiration behind Happy Healthy Guys, I know.
Yeah, and the struggles that he had when it came to health are the exact same struggles that most people have when it comes to their health. And it's something that we talk about a lot, like just willpower or the discipline to make the right choices when it comes to our health, which is why we always talk about that.
Yeah.
Right. Or wondering why when we do certain things because we think we're making the right choices, but they're not actually working for us. And as a result, we just quit or we do something different and go from one thing to the next to the next. And at the end of the day, we end up throwing our hands up and go, you know what? I'm just better off doing what I was doing. Right. Or we stick our heads in the sand. And it's that mentality right there, which is why the state of health in our country is the way it is right now. We look at the numbers out there where you have 1 out of every 2 people that die as a result of heart disease. 1 out of every 3 people die as a result of cancer. And those are real statistics. Yep. But nobody ever thinks that they're real statistics unless it actually happens to them. So that right there is the purpose of the Happy Healthy Guys, making sure that it never happens to them. And a lot of people ask us, well, why is it that you guys started doing this? Why did you guys start doing the Happy Healthy Guys? Yeah. It really wasn't because of those numbers that we're talking about, because those are numbers that really involve other people. But when it happens to you and it hits close to home, guess what? You got to do something different. And it was out of that pain that you went through, that I went through, that we really had to do something different. So why don't you go and start with that? Because a lot of people ask us that. I've been on several podcasts even this week, and that's where people always want to go is, why'd you start doing the Happy Healthy Guys? So Dr. Randy, for you, why was it important to start doing the Happy Healthy Guys? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so, it's like we always discuss. A lot of times, real change is going to happen when you go through adversity or life becomes really uncomfortable and you have to make a choice. Are you going to continue to do what you've always done? Or are you going to make a change? And unfortunately, for me, I was, and for you too, but we were thrown into situations, me specifically with getting a cancer diagnosis that just took me for a loop. You know, I was really taken aback. I was shocked. I was depressed. I was frustrated. All the words of that in that category, I felt those things and I couldn't figure it out. And so I had to look at myself and go, okay, if you know that your body's designed to be healthy, then clearly if you're building cancer, you're not healthy. And I think that's one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is like, oh, well, I'm pretty healthy, right? Or, yeah, I'm only on 3 medications. I'm pretty healthy for my age. You know, I don't have disease yet. I don't have a chronic illness. I must be healthy. We're almost waiting for this crisis. And so I had to first realize that, wait a second, you're not healthy. You're so unhealthy. You can't adapt to your environment chemically, physically, emotionally so bad that you're 8% body fat, eating all organic food, exercising 6 days a week, getting adjusted sometimes twice a week, and you're now facing a late stage cancer diagnosis, which mine was super aggressive. It had started on my back, moved into my lymphatics, into my liver. You even remember seeing my liver, how swollen. It was literally sticking out of my body almost. You could see it through my shirt. It had moved into my stomach. So I've got this aggressive cancer. And once again, I was so meticulous in thinking I was doing all the right things. So I think the point here is that I had to look at things, you had to look at things, and we had to start asking ourselves, is what we're doing working? And by asking those questions, and then of course ending up in Spain, where you and I both ended up working with a great doctor there, a medical doctor who really aligned with our philosophy, right? So Dr. Helu, he really got that, hey, treating cancer or treating any disease could leave you with the same problems or worse. That created the problem to begin with. So I didn't want to treat my cancer. I wanted to get healthy. And really going back to health is really when you're adapting to your environment chemically, physically, and emotionally. So by working with him, detoxing my body, removing stress, learning the proper nutrition and lifestyle protocols that we've now adopted, that not only we teach now in Happy Healthy, but that literally helped save my life and your life as well, Dr. Rob. And they're really basic, simple principles that anybody can do. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to have 6 degrees. You don't even have to go to Spain. Because you set a few basic concepts, right?
Yeah, because even as you say that, I can remember watching like the things that you were doing before you were diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And man, it looked really hard. You know,
it was hard.
However much you would be exercising, it took us like 8 hours just to order something at a restaurant. It took us another 8 hours before we even got to the restaurant because of the regimen of all the supplements you were taking before we would even go. And so I think like for myself, that's one of the things that kind of turned me off to that and a lot of people, because I'm like, that looks really hard.
And it was hard. It was super hard. You're like, my whole life revolved around all this snacking and protein and supplements, almost living in a place of fear. Like if I don't do this thing perfectly, then I'm gonna ruin my health. You know, so it almost wasn't even a healthy, balanced way of looking at your life because it was so what's the word I'm looking for? I guess it was so
regimented.
Yeah, it was so legalistic, right? It was so regimented that nobody could really follow this. And come to find out, this whole legalistic, regimistic way of living and thinking almost cost me my life because clearly that was stressing me out even more than probably the food.
So you definitely, and that's the thing, is you may have thought you were healthy, but you definitely weren't happy. And the reality is that you were neither happy nor healthy, right?
Yeah. I would come out of that maybe, with my joy and peace, but ultimately I wasn't happy. And there was it wasn't sustainable. You know? No,
nor was I. Hey, thanks you guys that are watching. Larry Wayne, it's good to see you. Thomas, man, you're the man. Love what you're doing as well. Thank you for just doing what it is that we love. Kat, good to see you as well. And so you're going through that. And I won't get deep into even my story. I'm blown 3 discs out in my lower back with you there in Spain, but it was the lifestyle that we saw that people were living there in Spain that really changed everything. Literally mind, body, spirit.
Yep.
And it was putting all of that together, which is what birthed Happy Healthy. And then we've got the Happy Healthy guys teaching other people how to be able to live a happy, healthy life. What that means is that's a lifestyle of really having everything there, mind, body, and spirit, because we talk a lot about mindset. We talk a lot about the fact that God is the one that ultimately designed our bodies and is the source of everything. And it's about getting reconnected with that source to truly be living our purpose, and then honoring that with what it is that we do with our body. And the result is this happy, healthy life that we talk about, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It is. It's really what we do, because we realize if we could overcome the serious nature of what we went through, then we knew that we could help other people overcome things, and more importantly, never end up there, right? Because we've all lost people. Like when I was talking about my brother Ryan, how many people listening right now could raise their hand and say, listen, I've lost somebody that I really cared about because they lost their health, right? Everybody has a story. I was almost the story personally, all right? So after seeing what happened to my brother and other family members, it doesn't get more real than that, man. If you live in this country and you do what everybody else does, eat the way they eat, think the way they think, and take the foods and the drugs that they take, there's almost no chance that you're going to reach this healthy, happy life. And if you do, it's like I talked about earlier, you may still be breathing, but you're not living, you're not happy, you're not healthy, you can't do the things you want to do. And that's really the most important thing, right? If you're on this earth, be able to wake up and smile and feel great, and be able to go do and chase your dreams, or do whatever God puts you on this planet to do. And that's why being happy and healthy is at the core of everything we do, because we have big purpose. Everybody needs to have a purpose, something to do, right? Something to believe in, right? That whole purpose behind why we're on this planet. And we've seen it too many times. You lose your health, and once again, it erodes your joy, it erodes your happiness, and you never fulfill what you're potentially capable of.
Absolutely. So then one of the things that we always talk about is we didn't want to do the happy, healthy guys and just be giving people a lot of information, because there's plenty of information out there, right? Because information without application is
hallucination,
right? And so it just doesn't happen by itself. So from an application standpoint, we had to go back and say, what is the application behind what people were doing there in Spain, which is why we put together a series that we talk about this, but specifically there was one thing that we were seeing there that we didn't have here in the United States. And I always give the example when we were in Spain and we're at the store and we're in the grocery section, and we're looking at all the different oils, and they've got these beautiful oils all over the place, these beautiful olive oils, other oils that we don't have in the United States. And they have this one oil in the bottom part of it that was just this different color, was this bright yellow color. And right on the bottle it said Alcita Mal, which means bad oil. So they're just calling it out that it's bad oil. So one of the things that we saw there is just part of making sure that our body is doing what it's supposed to is we have to have the right fats in our body, and fat gets a bad rap, and that's what the oil is. And then those good fats were a part of the healing for you as well as me, but we couldn't find the quality of those fats in the United States.
Yeah.
And so things started coming around with the MCT oils or the coconut oils and those kind of things, and you've got the olive oils, but we were missing something still. And the thing that we were missing was short chain triglycerides here in the United States, which is SCT oil, which is where we came up with the SCT. We couldn't find it anywhere. So the application for us wasn't just giving information. We wanted to make sure that you guys could be able to have something that was simple, help you guys to be able to apply to what it is that you're already doing, making sure that you got a good food in there. That right there is exactly where SCT oil, it came out of a need, and the need was there just wasn't any. And so that's where that came from. So do you want to speak to Dr. Randy? Because you're like the science guy of both of us of what the SCT oil is and why it is so beneficial for the body.
Well, we've gotten a lot of questions about, so what's the real difference, right? With, hey, I'm doing my medium chain triglycerides, I'm doing my caprylic acid, I'm doing my coconut oil. my palm oil. You know, you're doing all these fats, and the real difference, guys, remember the medium chains, and it's not to get scientific, but there's a carbon backbone for all fatty acids. And so the medium chains are going to be C6, which are the C represents the carbon backbone, the C8, the C10, and the C12. And so that's really what a coconut oil would be made of. Short chain triglycerides or short chain fatty acids are less than 6. So there's C4, butyric acid. There's C3, propionate. There's C2, acetate. These are your shorter chains, and the shorter the carbon chain, the more stable the fat is under heat, light, and oxygen, and the more absorbable these fats are because they just don't put any gastrointestinal distress on the body's gut and immune system. So they don't really require any type of bile to emulsify the fat so you can absorb it. And so a lot of times, you know, we talk about not only eating healthy fats, and what we noticed in Spain, they ate a lot of vegetables. And one of the beauties of eating good vegetables is because your body can ferment a lot of the fiber from these fruits and vegetables and make short chain fatty acids, which is one of the beauties. Not only one, it's a huge important beauty of eating vegetables because you get those short chains. The problem is, and this is what we found, is most people have such poor digestion. Their microbiome is so distorted and out of balance that they can't even ferment or absorb these short chains. So as we developed this short chain triglyceride oil, this is giving the body direct short chain fats that get right into the gut and colon, are used for energy to strengthen the immune system, are great for brain health, for the metabolism. And I know if you're listening and you struggle with chronic fatigue, arthritis, pain, you're hungry all the time, you struggle with your weight, essentially you're short chain triglyceride deficient. You don't have these short chains in your system. So you don't have to replace all of your fats with short chain, but you want to start making sure you're getting those into your system. And it's incredible what starts to happen to the body when it gets nourished with these particular types of fats.
Which is exactly why Jeff Stuyba, what's up, man? He said, is this why MCT oil can cause bloating and GI distress? Yes, exactly. Those longer chains is where that comes from, which is why you don't get that bloating. You don't get that gut distress. In fact, with the Sct oil, it's actually healing for the gut. With the enzymes, the digestive enzymes that are in there, it helps the gut to be able to heal a lot faster, get your gut the probiotics that it needs to be able to be healing and digesting the food as well, which is what makes it great also. And also with that, benefits from the Sct oil is benefits our energy. It's a lot easier for the Sct or the short chains to be able to penetrate the cells. So that makes it a great carrier oil or carrier fat of other things. Like, for example, a lot of people use like turmeric or curcumin to be able to decrease inflammation. So it's a great carrier for that to be able to get that in the cells. For essential oils, you put that together with the essential oil, it's a great carrier to be able to get the skin to absorb that a lot faster, be able to penetrate into the body to be able to get that healing going on inside there as well. So it works great for that. And I know personally with the short chain triglycerides, for people, when we talk a lot about doing a ketogenic type of a diet, doing some of the shorter feeding windows, intermittent fasting, I can tell you this is that because last week I was going on a conference, and so I knew that. So Sunday I started loading up with my Sct oil, right? And then as a result of loading up with that Sct oil, I could feel that my body was in a state of fat burning first thing on Monday morning. It happened really quick. So it really jacks up and speeds up the metabolism. And I know that I'm in fat burning because for me, I can start to feel like the tips of my fingers start getting a little cold. And so that lets me know I'm like, boom, I'm like freezing. Yeah. And it's because my body's using the energy, and not to keep my body warm, but using that energy for fuel now in the body. So it's super cool that Sct oil can be able to be used for that. Other benefits, Dr. Randy, of the Sct oil.
Yeah, so I was just reading a study. I'll have to go back and reference it. It was out of Neuroscience Letters. It was done back in June of 2016. But, we're chiropractors at heart. We understand the importance of the brain, the nervous system, and how you literally live your life through your central nervous system. So one of the beauties of short chain fats is they're now showing improving. They call it neuroepigenetics. So you know how epigenetics is how we can influence our own genetic expression through how we adapt to our environment and how well our body can function and heal. So short chain fatty acids actually will influence gene expression in the brain and nervous system. So how cool is that you can actually affect the plasticity of your brain with these short chains because they're super brain friendly. So just, one tablespoon a day of these short chain triglycerides from our SCT oil can support the brain, support the metabolism, get into the system very easily, can reduce inflammation in your body. Like I've never seen an oil work the way this one does in so many capacities. What I've noticed too is that if you do the short chain triglycerides, and let's say you didn't eat perfectly that day, or you went out to eat and maybe had made a few bad choices, short chain fats can help mitigate some of the problems you get from the longer chain fatty acids that may have oxidized or gone rancid because they've been heated at high temperature, or there's maybe some trans fats. So it can really mitigate some of the damage. So that's really why SCT oil is more of a daily supplement than really, and you could replace a lot of your oils. We're not saying do that. Still cook in coconut oil if you would like. Still use your red palm fruit or your butter or your ghee. But 1 tablespoon a day is incredibly valuable to the body, the immune system, the gut, and for your overall health. And people just are really deficient in those fats. Epidemic, in my opinion. I think most people are going to be, I know I was severely deficient in these type fats pre-cancer.
Absolutely. And so not only with as far as being able to help out with the metabolism, but one of the things that you talked about was the high heat, where a lot of those oils can't take that high heat. One of the questions that we get is, yes, definitely use it as, to be able to support yourself on a daily basis, to be able to get the good fat in there and do at least a tablespoon of it every day. But if you do want to replace other oils, you can cook with it. Yes, the answer to the question is yes, you can cook with it. Yes. Its heat point or its smoke point isn't until it gets to 485 degrees, which is freaking hot. And so you can fry with it, which is one of the benefits of that as well. And one of the questions that we get a lot, Dr. Randy, is people want to know is where is it sourced? Where does the SCT oil come from? So where is it that the SCT oil comes from?
Yeah, so we're just sourcing it from grass-fed, pasture-raised Jersey cows. So they're genetically correct. There's no hormones. There's no antibiotics. You're getting a lot of the benefits that you can get from dairy. And then with our proprietary process of low temperature over many, many days to get it to where it's the pure SCT form, we're now eliminating a lot of the problems that you can get from dairy, from other ghee products, from certain fats where, hey, maybe you're getting some short chain, but the benefit doesn't outweigh all the problems you're getting because it's not a pure product. So the source is right on point, but the key to it is the proprietary method we use to get it into a pure SCT form. So it's most absorbable, hypoallergenic. So for those who can't do dairy, has sensitivities to whey, lactose, casein, we've really eliminated those hypoallergenic issues. So it's really a fat anybody and everybody can use.
Jeff just asked, where can we purchase?
That's a great question, Dr.
It's super simple. I'm going to put the website up for everybody that wants to be able to get some. I'll put it right there on the screen for you guys, but I'll make it super simple for you. sctoil.com. Boom. There you go. As far as where it is you get it. Now, here's the one thing. Here's what's been really cool is that people who have already been getting the SCT oil, we've seen crazy, amazing results. One of the people that follow us is Chrissy. And Chrissy, she's got the SCT oil. She's lost, just by doing the things that we talk about with the SCT oil, she's lost a ton of weight. She can come in and tell you, how much weight she's lost. Larry Wayne just posted on the screen right now. He says, see if I can read this. He says SCT oil works. It's great in protein shakes. We didn't talk about the use in protein shakes. Thanks, Larry Wayne, for reminding us about that. But yes, it's great for your protein shakes, but going back to Chrissy, she's lost a ton of weight. She loves it. In fact, she came into our office yesterday and bought 6 bottles of it. She loves it that much. She got the 1 bottle first and then came in and cleaned house and got 6 bottles. So yeah, so that's it.
She's got more than we have.
She has. My wife won't even let me use it anymore because it's like gold for her. She'd chop my hands off if I try to cook with it. But while I'm posting up the website right here, Randy, will you talk to some of the other things that people have been saying about the Sct oil?
Yeah, and one of the things we've been hearing too is it's a great way to use it as a pre and post workout supplement. And so what we know about short chain fats and getting the body to prefer fat versus glucose is that you can reduce the oxygen demand on your body. So remember, when you're working out, you're consuming and blowing through oxygen, so your muscles will fatigue. And so a lot of times people like, well, I have to preload carbohydrates to work out or load up carbohydrates after to maintain a workout. So if you're living a keto-inspired lifestyle, a paleo, a low carb, you can go in with 1 tablespoon of Sct oil about 30 minutes before your workout. You can power through that workout like crazy because of the reduced load of oxygen demand. They're even showing where like free divers, the ones who don't use the oxygen tank, they can hold their breath longer because you're reducing the oxygen demand to the brain. So you're actually getting more capacity to the body. So what I do, I even go in on a completely fasted workout, and then I do my SCT after my workout, which gives my body all those quick energy fats and supports the body. And then I'll eat a meal a little bit later on, maybe some bone broth, maybe a protein shake. But it's a great pre and post. And we were talking with one of the probably one of the top experts in the keto field just this week.
Emmett, what's up?
Yeah, it was an incredible conversation. And we were talking about the problems with MCT and caprylic acid or C8 oil and all the bowel and gastrointestinal distress. I was one of those people. You give me a couple of tablespoons of coconut or MCT on an empty stomach, man, it's diarrhea central, gut pain. So I've gotten up to 8 tablespoons in one day with Sct oil with no gastrointestinal distress. And we're not saying do 8 tablespoons. We're just saying you can do it at super high levels to get the benefit and not cause the gastrointestinal distress that you get from a lot of your MCT oils from potentially coconut oil or other inferior, maybe butter or ghee products.
Hey, Jody just commented that she just got hers today. I'm curious, Jody, have you tasted it yet? How does it taste? Have you tasted it? So I'm going to wait for her to comment on that. She says yes. I got to put this up there. She says yes, super crazy good, love it. Jeff said his wife.
Jody said, "Hey, Jody."
Yep. Jeff just said that his wife said order immediately. So there you go. That's why we did the Happy Healthy guys. That's why we've done the Sct oil. We always want to give you guys the simplest way to be able to apply what it is that we teach you guys about. Anything else that you want to say about the Sct oil, that some of the questions that we've been getting? I think we covered most of the ones that I've received as far as using it on your skin. Yes. High heats. Yes, absolutely.
And we've had.
Here's what.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you. So what's the difference? Because somebody did ask us, what's the difference between the Sct oil and butter?
Yeah, or even ghee.
Yep.
The biggest difference with butter is all the casein, the protein solids, the whey, the lactose has been completely eliminated. So our product is hypoallergenic. It considers it not even a dairy food because it's so clean and pure. The bigger question, I think, is going to be what's the difference between an Sct oil and a ghee product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ghee is a clarified butter where it's a more it's very popular in Indian cultures. It's very Ayurvedic, so it's got a lot of benefits. Ghee does, but the problem we found with ghee, as we were searching to find an Sct oil, was that there's no standardization for a ghee product. So you could grab 10 different jars, and you really don't know even what you're getting. The way it was processed, was it heated at high temperature? Was it cultured? Where did it? What was the source that it came from? There were so many variables. So we've got 10 different factors that we laid out when we were searching. to get a standardization to produce a pure SCT oil product. So I think that's really one of the biggest differences, is that there's just not an imitation to pure SCT, and the results speak for themselves. The taste, the flavor, the stability. I mean, dear Lord, this stuff is so stable. You could age this stuff for years. I mean, it is phenomenal. If you've ever tried butter or ghee or other fat products, if you've never tried SCT oil, you've got to try this. It's a tasty, healthy way to get these good short chains in your body, and we've made it really, really simple. You know, it's easy. It's easy to use, and I use it more like a supplement. Right? We're not really replacing everything. You know, I still do cook some things in ghee and in coconut oil and in red palm fruit oil. I'll still use extra virgin olive oil, but I make sure I get at least 1 tablespoon per day. And so in a 16-ounce jar of SCT, you're really getting a month's You're getting a month's supply, which is really the goal, is to get at least that 1 tablespoon daily.
There you go. So the call to action is just go to sctoil.com. I put the 3 W's. I don't even know do you put 3 W's in front of things anymore? I have no idea. But I did, just in case your computer wants them. But it's super simple. Just go there and you can be able to order. And there you go. That's why we did the Happy Healthy Guys. You know what? We just want to make sure that people are living a happy, healthy life. Dr. Emmett says, thank you guys for the knowledge and the science with SCT. I'm better prepared to consult my patients with on the distinction. So yeah, thank you. Love you, brother. Thank you for what it is that you're doing. So that's it. We love you guys. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Like any closing words, Dr. Randy, before we sign off for today?
No, I think I probably said enough. Talked too much.
Okay.
Let's just we'll shut her down. But once again, thanks for letting me dedicate this episode to my brother Ryan. He's been 33 years old today, and man, we can't save his life, but man, I know he would want us to help as many people as we could. So for all you out there who have lost somebody you care about because they had bad health, we're here to help you, your friends, your family. This is why we do what we do. It really does matter being happy and healthy. So we love you guys tremendously. Thank you for all your support. And we can't wait to talk to you again soon. Send your questions, send your feedback. We're here to help you and support you.
Absolutely. Love you, Ryan. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy. Love you, man.
Love you, bro. We'll see you guys next week.